line. Nothing malicious about it. It was just a good take.
Angel Reese, many would suggest
0.7 million average view. 5 years since
you reacted. I have an issue
coming up, and we want to do.
First, let me clarify something. Angel Reese should not be suspended for that fact.
The Chicago front office didn't just suspend Angel Reese, they dropped a grenade at the heart of the WNBA's fiercest rivalry. After Reese's fiery on-court confrontation with Caitlin Clark, a moment that escalated from a hard foul into an all-out war of words, the league's power brokers were cornered. Punish their own superstar or appear powerless amid the chaos. They went with the nuclear option.
Basketball play. Let me get ahead of that. Now, what I will also say is, Angel, your actions are starting to speak so loud, we can't hear what you tell.
This isn't just a suspension, it's a reckoning. Reese, the undeniable heart of the sky, a player whose ferocity and swagger helped redefine women's basketball, is now sidelined indefinitely. The official reason? Conduct detrimental to the team.
Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted,
But insiders whisper, the truth is uglier. A clash of egos, a fractured locker room, and a coaching staff that believed Reese's fire had finally burned out of control. This wasn't just discipline, it was damage control.
Oh, you know, if either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, you know, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball.
And Caitlin Clark? She's caught in the storm. The Indiana Fever rookie, already the most scrutinized player in the league, didn't ask for this. But now, like it or not, she's the face of the backlash. The so-called Golden Girl, some say gets special treatment, while Reese takes the fall. The debate is raging. Was Reese's suspension justice or hypocrisy? One incident lit the match, and now the league is ablaze.
0.7 million average viewers on ABC. That's the highest rated WNBA regular season game since Memorial Day of 2000, so 25 years since.
It was supposed to be just another WNBA showdown, until it wasn't. During a heated third quarter play, Caitlin Clark's aggressive drive to the basket ended with a hard foul on Angel Reese, sending the Sky Star crashing to the floor. But what happened next stunned the basketball world. Reese exploded, charging toward Clark with fury in her eyes, unleashing a torrent of words that sent the Indiana crowd into a frenzy. Teammates and referees rushed in to separate them, but the damage was already done. This wasn't just a foul, it was a breaking point.
I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago.
Cameras captured every second, and social media exploded. Was Reese justified in her anger, or had she gone too far? Clark's supporters called it a clean play, while Reese's defenders said she was standing her ground against excessive physicality. The referees hit Clark with a flagrant foul, but the real penalty came later, when the Sky's front office dropped the hammer on Reese. The question now, was this just a basketball moment, or the spark of something much bigger? The league had to respond, but did they go too far? With the WNBA already under a microscope thanks to Clark's meteoric rise, they faced a no-win situation. Ignore Reese's actions, and they'd appear soft on player misconduct. Suspend her, and they risk alienating a fan base that sees her as a warrior defending her turf. In the end, they chose the latter, an indefinite suspension that sent shockwaves through the sport. But this wasn't just about one play. It was about everything that came after. The suspension echoed far beyond Chicago. It rocked the entire league.
think having a young core certainly helps that, but I think more importantly than anything, we want to be present into this current year coming up, and we want to do what we can to make Chicago a winning franchise in 2025. And we want to set the tone for what's to be expected moving forward. We have those expectations placed upon us. We're not running from that, and we just want to continue to improve. And that starts with, again, being in the moment and doing what we can.
The Chicago front office didn't just bench Reese, they made a statement. Team insiders revealed that coaches were furious not only about the on-court outburst, but also about Reese's conduct after the game.
Angel Reese should be suspended. Period. Not good.
Instead of cooling down, she reportedly doubled down in locker room interviews, daring the league to punish her. That defiance may have cost her everything. The Sky's response wasn't just about discipline, it was a message to every player. About professionalism. But the question lingers, was this just...
It's a little misrepresentation to calm down on both sides. And so, I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react. So, for her, I think it's just for us, it's we are all in this together. We got her back.
Reese's suspension isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a career-defining moment. Indefinite bans are rare in the WNBA, typically reserved for only the most extreme cases. For a player of Reese's caliber, a national champion, and one of the league's rising stars, it's devastating. Her path to return, a public apology, mandatory media training, and undisclosed behavioral adjustments. Critics say the punishment is excessive. Others argue it was long overdue. 1. Things certain, Angel Reese's reputation will never be the same.
Flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
But here's where it gets really messy. Just days before the suspension, the Chicago Sky amplified unverified claims that Indiana Fever fans had hurled racist taunts at Reese. Now, with the team suddenly turning around and punishing her, skeptics are calling it a PR stunt, a move to save face after public backlash. Is this accountability or just damage control? The answer could determine whether Angel Reese ever wears a Sky jersey again. In the growing media war, one question looms. Who's telling the truth?
You know, Greeny, I would say, I think folks that truly love the game of basketball need to be mindful. You need to respect the humanity of these women, whether you are Team Clark or Team Reese, although you can certainly be both, right? The aftermath, the fact that the WNBA has to put out a statement because of racist comments and unsafe conditions toward Angel Reese. Like, I just want people to be mindful that whether you like it or not, anytime something happens with the two of them, one is automatically put as a victim and one is automatically put as someone who needs to be saved, when in reality, both are excellent competitors. They both said this was a basketball play.
ESPN's talking heads are at war over the suspension. Stephen A. Smith slammed Reese for lacking composure, while Monica McNutt defended her as a fierce competitor pushed to the edge. But this debate goes far beyond basketball. It's about race, gender, and the double standards black female athletes continue to face. When Clark gets physical, she's fiery. When Reese does it, she's out of control. The hypocrisy is undeniable. But does that excuse Reese's actions? That's the question now dividing the sports world.
Then Angel Reese. And I don't want to hear about the race thing. I don't want to hear about Angel Reese. If I don't like her, I have some sort of prejudice. I don't think she's a very good basketball player.
She's not.
And I don't
She's not.
And I don't think that the way she speaks, it's like I don't think that her words back up the level of her play. And to me,
Social media has turned this into a cultural battleground. Justice for Ree is trending alongside, quote, Clark deserves better, as fans dissect every moment, every word, every frame. Some argue Reese is being vilified for being unapologetically black, while others insist Clark is unfairly targeted simply for being a rising superstar. The truth? Both narratives carry weight, but neither tells the whole story.
With first half reactions, all that and more coming up on the WNBA halftime present.
Marsh wants more of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area.
Clark connects! Ends up caroming to Hull. Here's Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in! And the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range, is good!
The real victim in all of this? The game itself. Instead of celebrating Clark's historic triple-doubles or Reese's sheer dominance, we're trapped in a toxic debate over who's the villain. The WNBA thrives on rivalries. They fuel passion, ratings, and growth. But when does that passion turn to poison? The league stands at a crossroads, and if it isn't careful, it could lose the very momentum that Clark and Reese helped ignite. Behind the scenes, one moment shifted everything.
Guys, this is your boy John the Liquidator coming back with breaking news, hot off the press, and it looked like Sky head coach Tyler Marsh has confirmed there has been lies told about the Indiana Fever fan base.
Behind closed doors, the Chicago Sky held an emergency meeting that would ultimately decide Angel Reese's fate. Sources say the room was divided. Some coaches and front office executives pushed for a fine and a fresh start, while others insisted on a stronger stance. The tipping point? Team veterans reportedly spoke up, saying Reese's behavior was disrupting the locker room's chemistry. This wasn't just about one game. It was about a pattern of intensity that, in their eyes, had crossed the line into insubordination. The most shocking detail? Reese allegedly refused to apologize during the meeting. Witnesses say that when confronted about her post-game comments, she stood her ground, insisting she was defending herself against unfair treatment. That defiance may have sealed her suspension. Was it admirable conviction or career suicide? Even her staunchest supporters are beginning to worry. In a league where relationships and reputation carry weight, Angel Reese may be burning bridges that won't be easy to rebuild. Now, the Sky faced their first true test without their star. Can they compete with Reese sidelined? Early practices suggest a team that's both rallied and rattled, playing with something to prove, but clearly feeling the absence of her ferocious rebounding and on-court leadership. If the losses start piling up, the pressure to bring her back will grow loud and fast. But at what cost to team discipline and unity? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's historic rise continues, shattering records and polarizing fans. Is she a once-in-a-generation record breaker? Or, in the eyes of some, the unintended villain in a much larger story? While Reese sits suspended, Caitlin Clark continues rewriting WNBA history. In just her fourth career game, she notched a jaw-dropping triple-double that left analysts speechless. But here's the twist. No one's talking about it. The Reese drama has completely overshadowed what should have been Clark's defining moment. It's a harsh truth in sports. Controversy always drowns out greatness.
Surprised me really was that she wasn't scared. White girl coming into the league with all this star power, all this attention. It's like she really didn't back down. There were times where she, played the victim in incidents on the court, as if like she didn't do a little bit of dirty work too. But like she didn't back down. And I think that's what makes, Caitlin great. Aside from her game, she's not afraid. Yeah. Especially as a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Clark's real challenge? Surviving a league obsessed with her every move. Opponents play her rough, fans hurl hate, and the media dissects her every expression. Through it all, she's stayed stoic. But insiders whisper the pressure is starting. To crush her, is the WNBA protecting its golden goose or feeding her to the wolves?
And hitting a triple-double for Caitlin Clark. And she starts 2025 with a triple-double.
The ugly truth. Caitlin Clark's success is deeply intertwined with rivals like Angel Reese. Their rivalry didn't just light up highlight reels, it doubled WNBA ratings. But now, what once fueled interest has turned toxic. The league thrives. On fire, not infernos. Can Clark rise above the chaos, or will she get scorched by the very hype that built her up? And then there's the elephant in the room, race. When Black Angel Reese shouts at white Caitlin Clark, she's aggressive. When Clark dishes out a hard foul, she's competitive. That glaring double standard has many black WNBA veterans fuming behind closed doors. Even legends like Cheryl Swoops are starting to speak up, pointing to unconscious bias in how players are judged by fans, media, and perhaps even the league itself. But it's not a simple case of hero and villain. Reese does have a history of on-court antics, from taunting opponents to challenging referees. So is she being punished for behavior or for fitting a stereotype? The truth likely lies somewhere in between, and the debate is ripping at the fabric of the league. The WNBA's reckoning isn't just about Reese versus Clark. It's the collision of decades of racial tension in women's sports. If the league turns a blind eye, it's complicit. If it overcorrects, it risks offering performative fixes. There's no simple solution, but silence is not an option. Meanwhile, the battle rages on social media. Bots, trolls, and fabricated narratives fueling the fire.
Against the bigger Cardoso.
Reese spinning, couldn't pop it in, the O board, no. Another chance stripped away.
Solid. Thought she had a solid first game.
Clark looking to shake Vandersloot, step back, is good. Long on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese.
Twitter has become a battleground. Team Reese and Team Clark flooding feeds with doctored clips and fake quotes. The most viral, a fabricated audio of Reese allegedly threatening Clark, convincing enough to fool major blogs. But who's behind? The disinformation? Some point to bad faith actors intent on derailing the WNBA's momentum and growth.
These eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark and Angel Reese.
Reese's camp is hitting back hard. Her inner circle released uncut footage showing Clark's foul was far more aggressive than what aired. Strategic counterpunch or a move of desperation. Either way, it's clear. This battle isn't just on the court, it's a digital blood sport. The most troubling part? This is the exact kind of spotlight the WNBA never wanted. The league dreamed of going viral, but not like this. If they can't seize control of the narrative, outside forces will. As for ball out for the sky, the question looms. Will they really bench their star? Chicago's front office is in panic mode. Reese's jersey sales made up 40% of their revenue. And now, sponsors are quietly inquiring whether her suspension might be reconsidered. Translation? Money talks. If ticket sales start to slump, will the Sky rethink their stance?
The aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
The locker room is split. Some teammates are rallying behind Reese, calling the suspension excessive. Others are quietly relieved. One anonymous player admitted, Reese's my way or nothing attitude was draining. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about survival. Lose Reese and the season could collapse. Keep her without boundaries and risk a full-blown mutiny. The ultimate irony? Her suspension may have made her even more powerful, a martyr to some, a villain to others, but now undeniably the center of attention. And the Sky need that spotlight. But can they survive the storm that comes with it? What's next? Here are 3 shocking possibilities.
That's kind of wicked right there. There's got to be an upgrade. Look at that. I mean,
nowhere near a basketball.
Yeah, and then pulls her down.
Scenario 1, the redemption arc. Reese makes her return, humble, focused, and unstoppable. She dominates the league, silences the noise, and walks away with MVP. The Sky are hailed as masterminds for teaching her a lesson. Too clean? Maybe. But if there's one thing the WNBA loves, it's a comeback crowned in gold.
It's more of that for catching around that 15. Clark!
The throw goes by!
Scenario 2, the trade demand. Reese draws a line. She won't suit up for Chicago again. The pressure mounts, and the Sky are forced to move her to a big market team. Picture Reese under the bright lights of New York or LA, a marketing goldmine. But it sets a risky precedent. Stars calling the shots, franchises scrambling to keep control. Scenario 3, the nuclear option. Reese walks away from the WNBA entirely, taking her talent overseas, to a league where fire and passion aren't punished. Sounds extreme? Don't forget, Brittany Griner did it too. So what's next? This. Drama's on another level. Which scenario do you see playing out? Comment 1, 2, or 3 below. Stay locked in. We're dropping exclusive updates as this story unfolds.